Hi there, hope you're all doing well. I am taking a break from my Eternal Dynasty this week, just with a female Paladin from Dragonforge Miniatures. This is part of their Steel Watch Knights pack on the Patreon. They have sent me this for free, but with no obligation to actually make a video on this. But I'm using this as a bit of a palette cleanser, because it's always just nice to have an extra mini laying around and something to paint that isn't blue for once this week. She's been primed in black, and I get started with the armour. This is going to be greedy gold, as I have an idea to use her as a captain in my Bretonian army once I eventually get around to making one. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. You can also join Discord using the link in the description. There you can share anything you have been hobbying on. There are a few belts around her, so I grabbed Army Painter's Leather Brown, just added them in. You can't really see them against the gold, but it's enough to notice a bit of a change in texture. For the remaining metal parts, I went for Shining Silver. Since she's going to be a character model in my army, I couldn't really give her old dirty silver, so it has to be the brightest one I have just to make her stand out a bit more. Now all the metallics are finished, I get started on the red, with Scarlet Red for her cloak, sword hilt and the rope around her neck. Did originally plan to leave the collar in gold, but I just didn't make much sense to be like that after I'd done this, so I come back in and add that into red afterwards. Next up is the exposed skin. For this I grabbed Sunny Skin Tone. Wanted to go for a blonde look for her, so I went for Vallejo's Leather Brown. This is more of a yellowy brown colour. The mini comes with a scenic base, so for all of the mud I used charred brown. I quickly grab Grey Matter Beige to dot in her eyes. With the charred brown near enough dry, I used intermediate green to add some colour to all of those grassy tufts. Lastly, on the base, the rocks get a once over with medium sea grey. With the base colours all finished, I grab black and do the base rim and finish off her eyes. Moving on to the washes, I start off with mid brown for the base, skin and all of the gold. The other wash this mini gets is dark tone on all of these silver and red parts. I fancied adding a little bit more to this mini, so I come back in with scarlet red and just go over the majority of all these red parts, just leaving the darker parts in the recesses. Next up for the red is gory red. This is once more for all the raised areas and the edges. The scarlet red's still a little wet as well, so it wet blends slightly on the mini. The final red is flat red. This looks way too bright when it goes on, but like all paints, it just dries so much darker. With the red finished, I grabbed plague brown and begun highlighting the hair, just to give her a bit more of that blonde look. For the highlights on the skin, I just used some elven flesh, just to go over those raised areas. With all these highlights, I figured the metallics could do with some love now as well. So starting with the gold, I come back in and do the large, flat and raised areas, just with the same greedy gold that I originally used. can't highlight the gold without doing the silver as well, so I come in with shining silver, just to sharpen up the sword, make it look freshly cleaned. And that will be it for the female Paladin. She's a pretty simple model, but more than good enough to be leading an army in the future. As always, there will be photos of this mini on my Instagram page. I will put a link in the description to Dragonforce's Patreon page if you want to check them out and just see what other work they do. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. You can also join Discord using the link in the description. For those of you who want to pick up some hobby supplies, I have some affiliate links down below to some of the products that I use on a regular basis. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Most importantly though, be kind to each other.